can be the very thing that makes or breaks you. Don't play yourself, people. Okay, and so the last and final thing I want to talk about in this All About the Second Round interview is the object. I know they always say, bring the object, it's optional. I mean, there are so many people who never bring the object to the interview. Like, they're like, it was optional. Do the optional. Never not do what's optional. If they say bring a paper airplane, bring a paper airplane. If they say bring me lunch to eat, bring them lunch to eat. I don't care what they tell you. If it's optional and they say it's your choice to bring this, it's not optional, because I'm telling you, bring the shit. So, sorry, I just got a little excited because there have been so many DMs from so many people who are like, I don't think I'm gonna bring the object because I don't know what to bring. You better find out what to bring. I don't care. Bring it. What is wrong with you? Do it. Don't jeopardize yourself. Don't play yourself, people. Do not play yourself, because that object can be the very thing that makes or breaks you. Get it through your brain, and I'm sorry if I'm being rude, but you just need to know the truth. Bring the object. Bring the object, okay? So today I'm gonna be sharing with you my object because I don't know, I feel like a lot of people want an example, and sorry, this sun, oh my god, I don't know if I should fix it. I feel like that's better. Okay, so it's a rock. I got this after I got the Posse Scholar, but if I had this at the time of the Posse Scholarship, I would definitely share this rock. So this rock and I have special value. This I actually got from my Posse brother. His name is Sam. And we went on this walk on like a retreat we went on, and this was like the first time me and my Posse brother Sam connected, and we shared a lot about our journey with Christianity, and it was like something that we both can connect and relate to. And we talked about a lot about like beauty and like understanding people and people in the world. Like, we just had a really deep conversation. Sam gave me this rock because we were in nature and we saw like a lot of like pretty rocks, and then there was like this one outcast rock that looks like it has like nothing to it, nothing like special about it, and that no one would ever come and pick up this rock. And so basically he talked about like how that's how we felt a lot of times. Like, we were always kind of like the outcast, and like we were always this one particular rock that no one ever wanted to, I don't know, connect with on that level. And like how, I don't know, we just talked a lot about how we can sometimes be like the people on the outside. Not that no one wanted to talk to us or be friends with us, but we were just always in awkward positions. And this rock was kind of like awkwardly placed in amongst all of the beautiful rocks. And so I would explain this to the judges by saying like how, one, like the power of friendship is important to me, and two, like how I've always felt like this weird rock, but there is a certain level of beauty to it. It just has to be unearthed from the surface. And so this is like another one. It has more sentimental value, but it is a simple object that you can really take and transform and mold it into a story. My last kind of suggestions for objects would be like, I don't know, maybe a poster that represents you, a poster like of like a celebrity or like somebody who's influential, maybe a picture of you and your family, something you've gotten on a trip. Like, those are like really specific objects that I suggest you decide to take a look at. I'm going to show you my object, which is kind of similar to that, but it's something I created. So like I shared with you in the very beginning, I've always been a science person. It was just kind of like what I got into and like what I got really good at. I never took the time in high school or like really any time in my life to explore art. I've always been super creative, my mom told me, but I never felt like I was, because I never got to channel it out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been so caught up in science and like learning science and all things science related. I never really took art classes. I never took like a photography class until my senior year. Never did like yearbook or really anything like really fun like that. I never like been in drama or dance because I was just so in science. And so for my object, I decided to create kind of like a mural to represent all of the things I was a part of in high school, and just kind of represent all of the things that makes me me, and all of my accomplishments, which mean a lot to me. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. It's kind of big, so I'm sorry, but yeah. So first and foremost, it's like on this trifold. So on the outside of it, if you can see, I put like kind of all of these awards I received. So like this one in particular is like a letter from the White House. I was part of like the National English Honor Society, National Society of High School Scholars, all these honor societies. And then I created a blog in high school. That was like one of the most creative things I did. And I never got big or anything because I never focused on it, but I really enjoyed it and I love to write, and so creating that blog was really fun. It was called Purely Defined, and it was mainly about the journey that lies ahead, which is like my favorite quote. And then on the back, I have like 2 special awards that mean a lot to me. I got Barack Obama awards 2 times, and last but not least, I got like my acceptance letter into my internship, United States Department of Agriculture, which I thought was a pretty big deal at the time. So those are just like some of the accomplishments that I hold dear to my heart, whatever. Open it up, it's like a trifold, like, you know, a science fair board. You just see this big mural, and I'm trying not to break it because it's really old. But as you can see, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Alright, let me just take a thumbnail. It looks like I would start at the top, but it really begins at the bottom. So I'm just gonna do this. So as you can see down here, there's a lot going on. Basically, the visual concept is kind of like a road to where I'm going. So like right here is the road, and then right there is where the destination is. Basically down here, it has my favorite quote, "The journey that lies ahead." In high school, for me, it was all about where I was going. Like I said, when I created my friendship groups, it was like, guys, we need to make sure that we get our work done so we can get to the next place, which is college. And so I always was focusing on the journey that lied ahead. Each day presented a new journey, a new task, a new struggle to get through. And so I was always focused on the journey that lies ahead. And so that's what the quote I wanted to put on my road map. And then along the way, I did all of these things to get to where I was, which is right here. So like these are like the clubs I was a part of, and pictures of me like doing stuff in those clubs. So Next Generation Youth. These were like the friends I made in high school that really helped me get through high school. The honor societies I joined. And yeah, and this right here is like where I'm at now, like being nominated for Posse, which is gonna propel me to where I wanna be next. This is like the internship. I started YouTube in high school, so like that was really cool. And then right here, if you look at these flags, these were like the order of the schools I wanted to join, and it was like a cool way of telling them like which schools I wanted to be my 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st choice. So I was like, so I never shared with you my choices. So I wanted, this is Bucknell, then Lafayette, then University of Wisconsin, then Rochester. And then if you look at here, my dream school is the actual school, which is Sewanee, the University of the South. I built a school. So as you can see, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be, and then there's the after. But we're gonna go back down because there's one more thing. So I also wanted to include some of like my beliefs and like core values and kind of things like that. So I'm a Christian, and in the Bible there's the tree of knowledge. So on my little mural, I decided to make kind of what I call the tree of values, which just has like a lot of things I believe in, like family, respect, humility, humanity, God, believing, love, peace, unity, service, and freedom. And then under that are like the things that represent all those things. Like I hold dear like 9/11 to my heart, Science Bowl, which is something that was big for me, my family. These are like family pictures. So like those are my values. And then now I'm gonna lift this up. And to go on with that, this was my first time ever drawing a dove, and I think it came out great. So this dove is actually kind of like my representation of God watching over me always. And then this is Jesus dying on the cross right here. So yeah, this is like kind of like my values, and then which helped me along my journey. And so now, this is where I am today. So like those are all the things I've accomplished. These are all my beliefs and values. What's next? So my dream, I explained my dream is to go to Sewanee, and I may not know what I'm gonna do there, what I'm gonna study, or where I'm going, but I know that whatever it is gonna take me to the next place, the next phase, which leads me to the last and final portion, which is like the water and kind of like the moon and everything, which represents kind of like the ocean or this lake that I'll be getting in, and it'll be taking me somewhere. As you can see, there's no real destination. It's just gonna keep going, but no matter what, the journey is always gonna continue. There's always gonna be ways to grow. There's always gonna be things to do, and one day I hope I get to where I need to be, and even when I get to where I need to be, the journey's still gonna go on. It's never gonna stop. And so that's pretty much how I explained my mural, but ultimately when you look at it, you just see like kind of all of what I've done so far, all of who I am. This is where I want to be. This is like my dream school, but even then, there's always still more to do. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video and got a sense of what the interview is all about. It's really simple, and I hope you get a sense of what object you're gonna bring. My one request is that you don't copy me exactly. Like, God, for one, the idea has already been stolen. There's no way you can copy me. But I encourage you to be creative with your object and create something that's meaningful and special to you, something that is very passionate about you. For me, that was the first time I ever channeled anything artistic ever, and being able to share that in my interview was so special to me. So you'll probably be seeing is a vlog. I have been vlogging like my college experiences. I know a lot of people have requested that. And then once again, if you guys have any questions that I did not touch on in this interview video, make sure you DM me on my Instagram and Snapchat so I can answer it. And if I get an overwhelming amount of questions, I will definitely do an all about the second round interview, Posse Q&A. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go to class now because I'm late, and peace.